I have one question in my hand so far, and I can see Teresa is collecting some more. So we'll start with this question. What is the extent of your commitment to the Monterey Park Library? And we'll start with Stephen.
I love the library. When I came to the United States, I've been using the old library. Now we have a new library. I wish we always have 7 days library work hour. So I will support that we continue the task that we are enforcing right now to keep our library going and make sure that all of my family members and myself, all of the residents in Monterey Park can enjoy the beautiful library.
Well, library. Right, library reminds me of college days when in Kansas it was snowing and you go to the library and you almost never come out. But for me, my favorite book was a dictionary, and I always liked words, and I always try to articulate and speak with good pronunciation. The library's been very important. It's more modern now. It's got CDs, and it's got computers, and it's got online books. But the beauty of it is a book is a book, and a book has all kinds of great information. All of my friends work for the library board. You got Bob Jen, you got Yukio Kuraratani, you got Mayor Pro Tem Peter Chan, and I'm almost grafted into the library, so I'm not going to be able to get away from the library. I like being smart. The library teaches smart people to be even smarter, and I like being with that group.
Library is very important to the children of the city of Monterey Park. Thanks for the hard work of Yukio, our former state assemblyman Mike Ing, and also Mayor Pro Tem Peter Chan. They work very hard together to make sure that we got the library born, have the library expanded, so we have one of the best library in the United States. And thanks to them, and of course, thanks to the hard work of many members of the Democratic Club. And also, I understand that our former mayor, David Lau, donated $50,000 to the library, making sure that our dream happened, come true. Because library is the place, is the knowledge bank for all of us, particularly our children. And we have to provide, we have to continue to have the library bond extended. We are working on it, and we are working together with the Friends of the Library and the Board of Trustees of the library, making sure that we are going to have enough money to make sure that we have the best library in the United States. Francisco, of course. Thank you.
Okay, I believe everybody has answered that question. There's a question about conflict of interest. Do active developers and large holders of real estate have a conflict of interest? And we will start with Delario.
Would you repeat that?
Okay. Do active developers and large holders of real estate have a conflict of interest?
It's somewhat
Well, it's kind of simple. It was so simple I had to hear it again. But if you're a developer and you're developing real estate, and you're going to make it profitable, either you're going to develop it, make money that way, and then when you develop it, you're going to develop the business within the development, and you're going to make money that way. So sure, it's going to be a conflict of interest, but this is America. I mean, America's about capitalism and making money. I'm not really sure if it would be a conflict of interest, because a developer, if he's going to develop a property, he wants to make sure that it's also going to be profitable.
Okay, Stephen. The question is, do active developers and large holders of real estate have a conflict of interest? I think it's somewhat open-ended. Oh, you want to read it too? Oh, this is cheating. You get to read the question.
Active developers and large holders of real estate have a conflict of interest?
Does that mean it's conflict of interest with being on city council? Is that what?
It can be interpreted
Well,
that way.
it's just a
It
question.
can be interpreted that way.
An active developer and a large real estate holder, a conflict of interest. To me, is that question asking if the council member has that kind of a business? Or just to the general public?
You can think of it as an individual, or you can think of it in general.
Okay.
That's a good question.
As a developer, if they are interested in Monterey Park, I would thank those developers. For those large property owners in Monterey Park, I would thank for their property tax to benefit us. But if it's a council member and who is a large developer, an active developer, and also a large property holder, then there's another story. Then we need to make sure that the council member draw the line very, very clearly, and make sure disclose everything by law. Make sure you don't get into conflict of interest. Thank you.
Okay, good passing of the microphone.
That is a very good question. Let me tell you, the state government and the local government has ordinance, rules that I'm not a big property owner. I'm a real estate broker. And I don't see if you do it properly, why there's any conflict of interest. The rule is within 500 feet of any development there, if you have a business there and you have some interest in the property, you have to abstain yourself. You have to disclose it so that you cannot participate in voting. That is avoid any conflict of interest. As a conscious council member, we should stay away from that. If that happens, particularly if there's a project that city has involvement in, that council member should not be involved at all. So anytime, there's something like that come out, not even real estate development, any city ordinance like the dog park. So our Mayor Pro Tem, Peter Chan, abstained because he lives within 500 feet of the dog park. So there should be no conflict of interest.
Take the wire this way around you. Okay.
This question refers to the blue line, but I think the real question is about the gold line. So somebody probably meant the gold line. What is your position on the gold line extension? And we will start with Anthony.
The Gold Line extension leaving two routes. One is connecting the line from Garfield Avenue all the way to Diamond Bar along number 60 freeway. The other one is go south, go through Montebello, Vidia, and so forth. So far, the report comes out that those cities on the east side of Monterey Park are favorable to have the Gold Line extension towards the east. So the ones that the route that going south, the city of Montebello, city of Whittier, they don't like it, right? So the reason why we are still looking at two routes is it costs more money to go east, and it would be, or the ridership is less than the ridership to south. But however, those people living in south don't like it. Those cities that want to living on the east, they are favorable to the route to extend to the east. So we are trying very hard to make sure that. But anyway, City of Monterey Park will be benefit from either direction, either route. Thank you.
You know, as I see Monterey Park growing in the future, we have the Potrero Grande, 215 Potrero Grande development coming, where we're going to have 82 new homes and quite a few more residents. We're projected to have hotels, 3 new hotels. We're going to have a population boost. And Gold Line, Blue Line, this mode of transportation is going to be very important. As we move ahead in the United States, we're going to need to move away from fossil fuels, and we're going to need more and more public transportation. So I believe that the Gold Line, whether it's gold or blue, and it's going to do the job and get people from A to B, point A to B, and get them out of their cars and get them on the bus or in public transportation. I think that's the wave of the future. I'm supporting Gold Line or Blue Line.
Good question. I support Gold Line to be continued. As a council member, I would like to see the economy growing. Just like other cities in the San Gabriel Valley, we love to see that more public transportation is being built so that we all can cut down our driving mileages to save the environment, so that one day we can take the Gold Line or biking, even a walking distance to the shopping places. Gold Line, it's very close to Monterey Park. I think Monterey Park will be most benefited community compared to some of the cities further distance to Gold Line stations. The Los Angeles city as a world huge city, so we are adjacent to the world huge city. We are benefiting from the economic prosperity that Los Angeles brought in. So definitely as an adjacent city, we got an open mind, welcome Gold Line to come through and to have our community be a better community. Thank you.
I believe everybody has answered that question. What can we do about casino tour buses?
This might work better if we pass it across the front instead of behind you. We'll try it. Oh, I'm sorry. No. Give it to Stephen first, sorry.
May I have the question again?
Okay.
Thank you.
What can we do about casino tour buses?
Thank you.
Or tour buses in general. I don't know if they all go to casinos.
It's very broad. casino buses, I have nothing to against them, but definitely I do not support a lot of buses goes around. But I do support traveling business and whoever in that business. But as an individual, as a council member, I definitely don't want them to take our residents to Indian casino and spend all their whole month's income in their casino and come back with empty pocket. I do want to see more activity inside the city so that these people will spend healthy money and healthy programs in the city. Thank you.
Casino buses. Well, we're gonna have three new hotel proposals, and we're gonna see more tour buses, and we're gonna see an influx of more people coming to Monterey Park, spending their hard-earned money in our city. And the problem that I see is parking. Where in the heck are we going to park these big buses if people start coming? And I think there's going to have to be some regulation about where to park a bus, and how many buses are we going to permit to come into the city of Monterey Park. I mean, wow, with 3 new hotels, there's going to be quite a bit of traffic that people are going to want to get around and see. People are going to want to go places where they're gambling. People are going to want to go sightseeing. They're going to want to go to Disneyland. And we're going to have 3 new hotels as a proposal. And so we're going to have to get ready to make some adjustments. We're going to have to, if I was on the city council and you came to me, I would go to Anthony, I would go to Stephen, and we talk about it, and we're going to come up with some solution, along with Hans, Peter. That's the teamwork that we're going to have. One council person is not going to make the difference. We're all going to work together. We're going to listen to the citizens. We're going to listen to what your concerns are, and we're going to sit down and talk about it and come up with the proper solution.
City of Monterey Park passed an ordinance in the year 2005 prohibiting tourist buses coming into City of Monterey Park. That don't work. The reason why is because of that ordinance, all the tourist buses are not allowed to come to Monterey Park. If they do park at the public place, besides of the private property, they will be getting a ticket. The ticket fine is between $1,000 to $3,000. So many of the buses there will be bringing people from out of town to come to patronize the shops and stores, restaurants in City of Monterey Park. And they may bring visitors from overseas or from out of state, our city, to come to stay in the motels. So why are we doing that? So the main goal having that ordinance is to prohibit those tourist buses coming to City of Monterey Park use our streets and roads as a depot, bringing the people to the casino, Indian casinos. So I already proposed to amend that ordinance, allowing the bus coming to shop in the City of Monterey Park to stay in the hotel and motel in the Monterey Park, except they are not allowed to use our streets and roads to bring people to Indian casinos. That is already amended. Thank you.
In a few years, new hotels and the marketplace are going to open. And it's projected that these will bring in new revenue. The question is, what programs do you favor directing that new revenue toward? And we will start with Delario.
an interesting question, but you know, I'm a frequent visitor to the council chambers, and I oftentimes sit there and look to see what's going on in the council chambers. This last council chamber meeting we had an illustration, and I know you can go online and you can look online to see what exactly the City of Monterey Park is doing, but when you come to the City of Monterey Park chamber, you want to be educated. You do not want to go there and not get informed about what's going on in the city, especially in illustration. I couldn't see a thing. I could see the colors of the chart, but that was it. We're not getting educated. We need an update in our technology. We need an update in our communication capacity. I mean, we have some real good deliberation sometimes. But I like to see us be a little bit more modern and put some better technology in the council chambers. So when you come to the council chambers, you'll be educated and you'll want to come back and not just sit at home.
I am in favor of building new developments, marketplace, 3 hotels to be hopefully to be completed in 2-3 years' time. The marketplace is estimated to bring in about $1.2 million a year. The Marriott Courtyard Hotel is about $1 million. The DoubleTree Hotel is about $800,000. And the AG Hotel, we call it AG Hotel now, is at the southwest corner of Garvey and Atlantic Boulevard, will bring in about $700,000. So with this additional amount, why they're bringing so much tax revenue? Because the TOT called a transient occupancy tax is 12%. For example, if a guest comes to stay in a hotel paying $100 a night, he has to pay the city $12. It's 12%. Meanwhile, the sales tax is 1%. So with those additional revenue, we should increase to our police officers, firefighters, and it will benefit also the library, because the library, we have allocated so many percent, about, I would say 2.5% something like on a general fund to the library. So that's why it will be good for hiring to make sure that we have more public officers, public safety officers to making sure that we all live in peace, and we won't be, because of the position of 47, the early release of prisoners, we need more funds to make sure that we have enough police to patrol our cities, protect the citizens of City of Monterey Park.
Thank you. And I think it's Stephen's turn.
Can I have the question again?
Okay. The question is about new revenues coming from the marketplace and the hotels, and to what programs or services would you direct that new revenue?
Thank you. In order to keep the city moving, keep our economy sound, we need to support all the developments in the city, including marketplace project, the 3 hotels. I support it. I want to use those funds, just like Councilmember Anthony Wong just mentioned, the $1 million and $800,000, those figures. We desperately need money for, first of all, the police and fire most updated equipment that I mentioned earlier in my opening speech. The money should be directed to education, library, rural services, retirement funds. Because I look at the retirement from the previous directors from the city. They either get 100% or 80% of their pay, so that we need to be prepared to have enough reserve, enough capital generated to pay for their retirement money, so that our next generation will not worry about the city go broke. Thank you.
This question refers to something that Mr. Robinson brought up, but somebody in the audience wants more information. We just had Mr. Robinson answer that question first, but maybe we need to because of this question again. In what way have commissioners been intimidated, and what has been the issue? So we're going to let everybody, but because Mr. Robinson initiated the subject, I think we should go to him first.
Well, luckily I was appointed by Anthony Wong, Councilman Anthony Wong. And Anthony Wong has enough faith in me to let me do the job properly in his name. He has the discretion to either let me continue, or he can pull me out of the commission at any time to his discretion. But he has that confidence in me. So I'm with the Community Participation Commission, and we were formed from the old Art and Culture Commission and the old Community Relations Commission, because there weren't enough people in both those commissions to accommodate two commissions. So we consolidated, and it's now called the Community Participation Commission. I believe there was a conflict with Council Member Teresa Real Sebastian with our chair, and it was some discrepancy over whether a person on the commission could have a family member participate in the beauty pageant. I know there was Carol Sullivan, she wanted to participate 70 and over, and I think Elizabeth Yang had a daughter 7, and they couldn't participate. So I think there were some threats and there was some intimidation about being escorted off the commission, that the city council person that appoints a commissioner has every right to do. So instead of hearing those threats over and over, Carol Sullivan and Marianne Barlow decided they were going to resign. And also our chair resigned because of some verbal abuse. So we went from 10 commissioners to 7, and we just had a problem even fielding commissioners. So when a city council person appoints a commissioner, that city council person should let them do their job, and they should step back.
Let's go with Stephen next.
I'm sorry, may I have the question again?
Okay. This refers to something that Mr. Robinson did say in his opening statement, and some of us who have been paying attention to what goes on at council meetings know about this also. It says, in what way have commissioners been intimidated, and what has been the issue? And Mr. Robinson elaborated and said there were 3 commissioners who resigned.
Thank you. First of all, I feel that I'm very sad that 3 commissioners had to resign during a council meeting. That is not a good sign and good things to see. as we mentioned, we have to work all together with the commissioners, as a council member, with the residents, work together with all the community members. The 3 commissioners resigned indicates that there's some discrepancies or thinking differently that a group of commissioners than a council member who appoint them. To me, there should be no force or tell them what to do. So once as a council appoint someone, let them freely express their thought. Let them use whatever they have in mind, so that we have a new blood fill in to the city for the betterment of our community. So if I am a council member, I will make sure that I work very closely with the commissioner and making sure that no commission resign in front of me. Thank you.
And we'll give Anthony a chance.
It happened that 3 commissioners serving on the Community Participation Commission came before the council to complain about one council member's interference of the commission business, which is the Generium Festival. To me, in the first place, a council member should not interfere the operational business of any commission, and they should have free hand to do whatever they feel right to do. What I heard is I can only comment on what these 3 commissioners' statement, and I heard that she stated that the one council member has been trying to control that whole commission and making them feel that this is her commission and everything to be done should be under her direction. That is wrong. So that's why it came to be a trouble. And after that, they've been claiming that it's very successful. But what I heard is it's not that successful. So I don't know the details, but that is what I heard. And what I believe, a council should not interfere any commission's business. It's wrong.
Thank you. And
What have you done and what would you do as a council member to reach out to and represent the growing Latino community in Monterey Park? And it's definitely Anthony's turn to go first.
As a council member, we are elected to serve everybody in the city, not particularly to any ethnic group. So my job is whenever, wherever, whatever you need the support and help and service from a council member, that council member should respond to that question or matter immediately without any delay. Whatever we can do, we should do all the best for anybody living in the city of Monterey Park. This is our job. Our job is to be kind to everybody, to love everybody as a brother, as a sister, as a family, without doubt. So anytime anybody have any question, if it is reasonable, is right, is legal, you get my support. You will have my help. This is my guarantee. Thank you.
Delario.
Me llamo Delario Robinson. Yo hablo español poquito y también mucho. Well, you know, my name's Delario Robinson. That's a Spanish name. My wife's Asian and Vietnamese. I'm African American. My last name is Anglo, Delario Robinson. I'm all American. I'm for everybody. In college, I was an All-American. I got drafted by the Oakland Raiders, nationally ranked in United States top 10 in the hurdles. Listen, I have a big perspective. You know, I like everybody. As long as people are big with me, I'm going to be big with them. Respect goes both ways. I'm all for the Latino community. There isn't a black community here. My wife's Asian. Her people likes me. Anthony Wong likes me. Stephen Lam likes me. Peter Chan is my best friend. And we got the mayor, Han Liang. Wow. You know, okie doke. That's my side of it.
And Stephen?
Yes, very good question. The city of Monterey Park welcome everybody. We have to go diverse in any ethnic groups. I love them. I love human beings. That is why we are celebrating Harmony Month, Lunar New Year, Cinco de Mayo, Gracias a Dios.
The city manager of Monterey Park seems to create a lot of negative vibes in the city, according to this, whoever wrote this. And he is, according to this person, according to probably more than this person, he is more Alhambra than Monterey Park. What can you do to change this? And I think it's Stephen's turn to be first.
Sorry, I'd like to
Hear the question one more time, please.
Okay, what can you do to make the city manager of Monterey Park more Monterey Park-ish than Alhambra?
I would like to see Monterey Park take a lead in the West San Gabriel Valley, like 30 years ago when I came to Monterey Park. I'm not saying we're behind Alhambra or San Gabriel. If we don't develop those projects, we are going to be behind for sure. If there's no revenue coming, no better shops, restaurant come in, we are going to be in behind. So if I want to, how do I gonna make or manage Monterey Park better than Alhambra? Is this a question? I want to make Monterey Park, first of all, of course, the development, bring in more sales tax, jobs, revenues, making Monterey Park the safest the city, cleanest the city in America. So that, obviously the other cities in San Gabriel Valley who are behind us. So we have to take a strong leadership, move forward fast. I'll be given only a little time, only 4 years. So I can't wait. I gotta do it right now. Thank you.
Well, you know, when it comes to our city manager, Paul Talbert, he used to be a city council person over in Alhambra. And we had a chance to change city managers at one time, but we opted not to. And Peter Chan, he told me, he said, well, Delario, listen, if we change the city manager at this time, it would destabilize the city of Monterey Park, and we'd go backwards instead of forwards. So we decided to give him an extension and give him a salary that would keep him enthusiastic and keep on doing a good job for Monterey Park. And I'm not saying that there's somebody out there that can do better than him, and I might be able to do better than him, who knows? I think I can. I think I can do just about anything, but as far as Paul Talbot is concerned, if we did change city managers at that particular time, we would have destabilized the city of Monterey Park, and we would have actually gone backwards instead of forwards.
Nobody can please everybody. Let me tell you the job of a city manager. All the 5 council members making all the decisions and policy. After the decisions is made, then we designate the authority to the city manager to implement the decision of the city council. And under him, there are police chief, fire chief, public works chief, etc., library, librarian, etc. He cannot do anything other than the decision of the city council. We don't allow that. So I can see that he's doing his very best, working with all the department heads and every city staff to work as a team, doing the very best, serving the best we can for the people of Monterey Park. That's what we are doing. Ever since Mayor Pro Tem Hans Leung was elected, Mayor Pro Tem Peter Chen was elected, we have a good team. And we are putting together a team that they are enjoying their job, they're enjoying their life, they are sure that they have a job there. They don't have to worry about tomorrow. They can focus on doing the best, working together with everybody, with all the administration, with the council member, making sure that we move the city forward. That's why this election is very important. And we have to elect good people, that they are dedicated, committed to work with everybody to form a good team like we have now, to move the city forward, making sure that we can all enjoy a peaceful and happy life in the city of Monterey Park.
What is your position on signs being in English as well as the native language of the proprietor? And also, what is your position on the language of signs at city-sponsored events? Feels like it's Anthony's turn to go first.
Both the federal constitution and state constitution has freedom of speech. So we should not be against anybody that have a sign language. They should have the freedom to do it. However, we encourage everybody, when they have signs in English, should have it also in Chinese, should have it in English. So far, throughout the whole city of Monterey Park, when you see a sign with Chinese, there is English. But when you see signs in English, you may not see Chinese on the sign. So that is what we call freedom of speech. So we don't want to make sure that you put whatever language, but common sense. When you are in City of Monterey Park in the United States, you want to have business from everybody. And nobody, I would think that they would not like to get business from everybody. So regarding the city business, any city with 5% and more residents there, you must have that language on your, like on the ballot, for example. So we must have it in Chinese, English, Spanish, and Vietnamese. So we have to follow that rule. Thank you.
You know, I remember that time that we were going through the signage issue problem, and I believe Mayor at the time, Teresa Real Sebastian, was presiding, and it was a 3 to 4 month issue. And I thought it was just totally absurd that we could spend that much time on that type of issue. Now, when the Latin English sign proponent wanted that to be brought up, well, it should have been brought up, but it could have been handled in a better way. We have 4 Chinese ethnic group people on the city council. Now, why couldn't someone from another a different ethnic group talk to any one of them or all of them to resolve the problem instead of having it resolved in the city council chambers? Now, I got up and spoke. I can remember vividly. I said, well, if there's some immigrants, and we have a large immigrant population, and they're over here in the United States trying to make a living, and English is a second language, and most of their customers are going to speak in their native tongue, well, they should have Chinese signage or whatever ethnicity that they are, or that they speak, they should have some of that language. But we're living in the United States, we're Americans, we should all speak a common language also. But when you come over here, you come over here for prosperity. You know, if you don't have signs on your store that people can recognize, they're not going to come in and support your business.
Thank you. It's a good question. The United States Constitution protects everyone's right. Everyone has the right of freedom of express, freedom of speech, freedom of religious. That is why we are so beautiful as the United States of America. A few hundred years ago, people immigrated from Europe, England, France, Germany, or other nations in Europe, later Spain, Italy, and China. My position is, no matter you come that time or now, your rights are protected. For general speaking, if you're in English, if you're in America, you need to put your name in English. You need to put your sign in English. We don't have that problem in Monterey Park. But however, if you came from other nation, you also love your mother language that you enjoy, you're welcome to put it on. Any language, Arabs, Thais, North Koreans, we welcome them. We love them. We want to change them. That is why the America is so beautiful. America is for everyone. Thank you very much.
Up to this point, each candidate has had an equal number of opportunities to be the first one to answer. And I think that counting closing statements, they will still have an equal number of opportunities to be first. So this question is, what will you do to improve infrastructure, especially streets, in Monterey Park? And we will start with Delario.
Well, of course, we're going to have revenues. We're anticipating revenues coming in from the hotels. We're going to anticipate 3 hotels. We also have 82 homes that are going to be developed. Enough with these potholes. Listen, we need to pave our roads. I was really behind the new development that we were going to do for the streets and the pipes. Listen, 100-year-old pipe and all these pipes bursting, and there's no telling when the next pipe is going to burst. We're going to have to use these revenues to get our streets together, get our infrastructure together, and quit worrying about so many potholes. I'm so sick of these potholes, it's pitiful. We, on Potrero Grande, where I live, we go down the street every day, and there's like 2, 3, 4 potholes. And I'm wondering when one of my tires are going to burst and I'm gonna have to pull over for a flat tire. So I would like to see all of our roads paved, and I know Anthony Wong knows more about this than anybody, but
Question is, how are we going to use the revenue for what purpose? The revenue we must generate it from the developments, hotels, the marketplace project, sales tax, and we got to use the money wisely. We got to use the money for our fire and police, for whatever their most updated equipment they need. We should make sure that we have enough number of police on streets. Make sure we have safe night. Remember, I just mentioned in my speech, opening speech, I want to make Monterey Park the safest city in America. We want to use money wisely. We want to make sure that street is smooth, no pothole. But, however, almost 100 years of pipe, the water pipe, we're going to dig it up, so we're going to do the services at the same time. Some of the streets, we probably need to do it right away. Some of the street, we need to figure it out. If we're going to dig anyway, we have to wait. So that way we save the money once we use money wisely. As a businessman and business owner in the city, I know how to make sure we generate enough revenue and spend money wisely. Thank you.
Regarding potholes, the city has a policy that wherever you see a pothole, report to the city of Monterey Park. We make sure that within 48 hours, that pothole will be repaired, will be patched up. Regarding repairing all the streets and roads, we have budget every year allocated to do all the streets, every street step by step. So we are doing whatever needed to be first, so we do it now. Regarding infrastructure, I can tell you that this council is doing everything possible to take care of underground up to the sky. Why I'm saying underground is we are replacing the water pipe, source lines, because City of Monterey Park is 99 years old. Many of them need to be replaced. And we are installing new water meter for every home and every business throughout the whole City of Monterey Park. We already updated all 13 parks. All the landscaping, the we built new shelters, and the park equipment, everything. We are replacing all 3,500 street lights with LED and the 500 city-owned lights throughout the city. The downtown, the baseball court, the basketball, the tennis court, all of those. So we are doing everything possible for the benefit of the residents of the Monterey Park.
I believe this is the last question before the closing statements. In negotiating deals for Monterey Park, will you fight to see that we get the biggest bang for the buck? How is it possible that Montebello got a theater with plush leather seats, and according to this card, we get a miserable, inconvenient theater with awful parking? And since we're saving Stephen to be first,
Can they close? Oops, I think I just unplugged this. Since we're unplugged, we don't have to answer.
Now we see yellow.
okay, and since we're saving Stephen for the first and closing, we will start this answer with Anthony.
So your question is about parking, right? Theater.
Theater. But I like the idea of talking about parking too.
Well, City of Monterey Park has a AMC theater then at the Atlantic Times Square. So I understand that recently they sold it to a movie company from China, starting to bring in movies throughout the whole world, making sure that the people living in City of Monterey Park can have good movies in the city, so that in addition to enjoying our TV shows, programs, and we can get some time to go to Atlantic Times Square to enjoy. I've been there several times, and they are showing very good movies, new movies, very entertaining. And I urge you to spend some time to go there. And after that, before that, you can have some very good food, delicious food, and drinks, and also ice cream, whatever you want. So don't go to Montebello anymore. Stay in Monterey Park and go to AMC Theater and help to bring in more tax revenue to all of us. Thank you.
Well, my understanding of the question wasn't just about theaters. It was about how come when we're negotiating for a theater or something to benefit Monterey Park, how come we're always getting the tail end of the deal? Well, I'll tell you, if you look at the city council meeting sometime and you see a Betty Tom Chu resigning, when you see the division, when you see the walkouts, when you see the signage issues and the division within our community on those type issues, when you see commissioners resigning, well, you start to think, well, wow, we don't want to deal with these people. Let's deal with a more civilized group, a group that we can help. We can't help those people. So it's all about perception. That's what I'm running for, and I believe that's what Stephen Lamb is running for also. We want to give Monterey Park a better image, a better perception about when we're dealing with people in business, especially the hotels. These hotels are big business. They don't want to deal with no fussing and fighting and bickering and badgering and quitting and walking out on city council meetings. They want to sit down, present their point of view, and make sure that it's understood and the city of Monterey Park understands, and then we sign on the dotted line.
Steve, it's to answer.
I wish we can build a very nice theater in the future if we have a spot for it. Making sure we have huge parkings that you can enjoy your movie anytime you're even late, so you don't have to wait for parking that everyone is wishing for. However, at Monterey Park, we have a very limited land. We have to use the land wisely. We make sure the land is the best and highest use for the city. When a developer come in, making deal with the city to put a theater or a large center in the city, of course, if I'm in the council at that time, I think I will be better than some of them, for sure. And I enjoy the theater. I use that for many times, and I enjoy the shopping center for lunch and dinner many times a week. So making sure that upcoming projects that make sure requires enough parking, make sure we have a loading zone, we have pickup zones. Thank you.
Yeah, he is.
And now we have a 2-minute closing from each candidate. So finish convincing us for the moment. We're going to start with Stephen on the closing.
Thank you.
my dear fellow Democrats, thank you for inviting me to this wonderful event. I love Monterey Park, and that is why I'm running for City Council. I have deep roots in Monterey Park. I came to Monterey Park 30 years ago and went to East Los Angeles College to get my business degree. I have my business here for 25 years and own my own house, and all my 3 kids were born at Garfield Hospital here in Monterey Park. I'm a neighborhood watch block captain. Therefore, I work very closely with police and fire department. That is why I'm proudly to say I'm endorsed by both the police and fire associations. I have worked very closely with our elected officials for the last 20 years. I'm proud to receive the endorsement from Congresswoman Judy Chu, State Senator Ed Hernandez, State Assemblyman Mike Gain, former State Assembly Member Mike Gain, Mayor Hans Liang, Council Member Anthony Wong, Mayor Pro Tem Peter Chang. By working with them closely, I'm sure that Monterey Park will be a better community. I will be very proud to serve as your next council member. Please vote on March 3rd, 2015. I ask for your support and thank you for your time.
You know, I'm very honored to be here. And Jeff, you did a real good job. The Monterey Park Democratic Club, you did a real good job. You know, I'm running for city council, and this is an undertaking that I haven't taken lightly. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to do the best possible job I can do. And I've done that all my life. In high school, I was escorted to school queen, girls league president. In the 10th grade, they sent me out and I went up there for Boys Day in government as a LAUSD representative. I grew up in Los Angeles. I was president of the Los Angeles Council of Churches and chair of the community issues. And Los Angeles is quite a large city. I wasn't a pastor. Those people over there thought I could bring people together. They thought I could help them build their membership. And I'm doing the same thing over here in Monterey Park. I came over here, I have one of the nicest homes in Monterey Park. I have a beautiful wife, 2 children. I'm African American, my wife's Asian. Just like I said, I have a Latino name. I can represent everybody. I'm doing the best job I can do, and I'm trying to do it in a respectful manner, a decent manner, with intelligence, with integrity. And I have an omni type of view with people. If you see me in any other light other than I'm the best kind of person, and you can see me being the smartest kind of person and the best type of representative for Monterey Park, that's what I want to be. I want to be our best type of representative. I want to draw in some revenues for us. I want to make sure that we're attractive to have more revenues in a better community. That's why I should be elected as a Monterey Park City Council person.
I thank Monterey Park Democratic Club very much, particularly all the members of this great club. Not only that, you care about the city of Monterey Park, the local government. You care about our state government. You care about our federal government. you make sure that all the good people like Congresswoman Judy Chu, our LA College Board of Trustee Mike Ng, State Assemblyman Ed Chow, State Senator Ed Hernandez, they all got elected. Why? Because you know that they will do their best for you. And also, you support and endorse Mayor Hans Leung, Mayor Pro Tem Peter Chen, they all got elected. And they prove that they are good candidates that you supported. They won the election. They are there together with all of us to making sure that we are all doing the best for everybody in the city of Monterey Park, making sure that we have a good team there that which we didn't have for the last 15 years. And I remember that when Mr. Mike Ng, Honorable Mike Ng, left office, went up to State Assemblyman, he said that he had the 4 worst years in his life serving on the council. I went through this for the last 6 years, but I can tell you that I enjoy being on the council because I stand up. I want to make sure that we all work together. We all help each other. We are kind to each other. We respect each other. We love each other. We make sure that I want to be elected to make sure that we will continue to make sure that we all enjoy life here. Like what I'm doing now. I am enjoying life because I can do what I can do for all of you. If you support my very good friend, Delario Robinson, Stephen Lam, I'm sure that you will have a good council to do the best, serving all of you to the best we can. Thank you.